Welcome back. The Police Coast Guard has stepped up patrols around Sentosa after a barge damaged a portion of floating security barriers on Friday morning. Authorities say no one was hurt and there is no risk of pollution. Nadira Zaidi with more.
This container barge was found grounded along the shore of Sentosa's Tanjong beach on Friday morning. A portion of floating security barriers was damaged in the incident. Police says these are used to stop illegal intrusions. It will assess the damage and carry out repairs. Some of the witnesses I spoke with said that they saw the container barge grounded here at Tanjong Beach from about 7 in the morning. At 10:15 in the morning, that's 3 hours later, the container barge was eventually towed away. Now what you're seeing behind me are officials trying to free up the tugboat that's been stuck in between the blue barriers. An expert says the tugboat was likely pulling the barge to port. Barges don't have their own engines.
What it looks like is that the tugboat and the barge got disconnected, and therefore the barge itself was left adrift, and therefore, and the waves actually carried it to the shores of Sentosa. This is actually considered a minor incident if you look at it from the point of view of no injury, very minor damages, and no oil spillage.
The incident drew the curiosity of those who often go to the beach.
We don't see this type of thing happen often, but once in a while we do here in our chat group. But boat-wise, is for this type of power boat is first time, but for kayaking, we do here quite often now and then.
While authorities say the beach remains open to the public, some kayakers in the area changed their plans.
We were running a coastal trail kayaking this morning. So when the barge was grounded, we assessed that it was not safe to exit from there to paddle along the coast. So we decided to change our launch point location to another beach.
The barge is undergoing inspection and investigation.
And for more analysis, we're joined by Associate Professor Goh Puay Guan from the Centre for Maritime Studies at the National University of Singapore. Professor Goh, welcome to the program. Give us some of the scenarios of what could have happened here. How might the barge have detached from the tugboat? Could there have been any lapses in protocol?
Well, I think first of all, there should be there will be ongoing investigations to find out what happened in this case, because this is actually a very rare occurrence, right? So tug and barges type operations are very common, especially in the region for transshipment type operations. So literally there are many barges operating in regional waters throughout the year. So in this case, the barge and the tug would actually be linked by steel wires, right? And there's redundancy built in, and there are definitely protocols built in on on carrying on pulling the barge, right? And therefore it's only detached when it reaches the port. So it's not something that you can just detach on your own. So I think, in terms of what actually happened, it's hard to speculate, right? Because it doesn't normally happen. So I think the investigations would then show whether it's human error or mechanical error in some form.
So this is a rare occurrence, as you said. We know that those are cargo containers on the barge. What's typically stored in them? And with the ongoing investigation, could there be any implications for the delivery of those containers?
Sure. I think if you look at the barge itself, probably there are 200 or 300 containers on that barge. So the impact on any delays is actually probably minimal in this case. And because it actually happened in Singapore waters. So, the fact that the barge is being towed away already means that they can easily pull it to port and discharge the cargo, right? And therefore those 200 to 300 containers can also be discharged and sent to the customers. Of course, if there's any investigation and these containers are put on hold, then that would probably have some delay in terms of the delivery of these containers itself.
There are some damages involved here, including to the security barriers. In this case, could the operator be expected to pay up or be held financially responsible for the damages incurred?
That could be possible. Normally, this would be covered by some form of marine insurance or ship insurance. So there's always some kind of insurance for damages. Either damage for cargo or damage to facilities, right, as a result of operations. So of course, there'll be different types of clauses involved in the insurance policy. So it depends on whether this is a human error, right, or whether or it's a natural type of unpreventable type of occurrence. But certainly there'll be costs involved, and typically this would be covered by insurance as well.
I'm curious, Professor Goh, what's the typical process for determining liability in maritime incidents like this?
So they will have to file a claim. I think it depends on the specific policies and the clauses involved. But they will have to file a claim. There's also, there's different types of claims, right? So one is for cargo damage. The other one is for sort of third-party damage that occurs as a result of what happened with the ship, right? So if you talk about the security barriers, that is probably considered sort of, the third-party type damage. Again, there are exclusion clauses behind what can be claimed, from insurance. But certainly, depending on who is seen as at fault, right? Then there will be, some kind of liabilities from the party that is at fault, and that will take some form of, ongoing, some form of investigation, right, on what actually happened.
So given that Singapore's waters are among the busiest in the world, how disruptive would this incident have been to maritime traffic?
Well, I think that for this incident, there's probably not much impact, right, or no impact on the current operations, because if you look at where it happened, it was actually off the waterways of the main, areas, right? So probably this tug and barge was going towards Keppel Terminal, which is the closest port to Sentosa. So but it has since been removed. Therefore, the marine traffic ways are probably not blocked in any sense, right? For the for the ongoing shipping operations to continue.
Looking ahead, Professor Goh, what preventive steps could be taken to ensure that such incidents don't repeat itself, especially given its close proximity to a public recreation space?
Well, I think in this case is probably, as I mentioned, it's a very it's like a one-off, right? It's very rare that this happens. So there are already some form, there are already procedures in place for tug and barge operations, and this happens, actually on a very consistent basis, on an ongoing basis in the region. So probably from the investigation, then they can see what actually happened, right, and whether there are any preventive or mitigation measures that might need to be put in place. Yeah, that's right. So if you look at Keppel Port, Keppel Terminal itself, it's already in the roadmap, right, for Keppel Terminal to be given up, and the operations move over to the Tuas Megaport. In fact, that already happened, but because of the COVID disruptions to shipping, and the ensuing port congestion, around the world, right, and a lot of cargo was coming to Singapore. So actually, Keppel Terminal was reopened.
Okay.
To take in all this overflow cargo. Yeah, that's right.
All right, Professor Goh, thank you so much for speaking with us tonight. Associate Professor Goh Puay Guan there from the Centre for Maritime Studies at the National University of Singapore.